This podcast is brought to you by Platform Equinix. Platform Equinix provides government agencies with the global ability to digitally transform by deploying new command and control capabilities through private interconnection to mission partners, network, cloud, and other digital service providers. Learn more about Platform Equinix at www.equinix.com/lp/government-solutions.
Hello from San Diego. My name is Ross John Fortuna, Managing Editor of GovCIO Media and Research, recording here from AFCEA West 2024, where leaders are discussing the future of the global threat landscape, defense technology, and of course, information. Joining me here is Jennifer Edgin, Assistant Deputy Chief of Naval Operations for Information Warfare. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
On a panel earlier today, you referenced the need for more design-based conversations. So why is that important in using information as a warfighting multiplier? How does it help the commanders? How does it help the warfighters?
Well, I'd like to start with how we've been having conversations to date. It's really centered around requirements. And requirements are one leg of a multi-leg stool. And those legs can be wrapped together around the concept of a design. So think about it as you would think about in designing anything, a house, maybe you're remodeling your kitchen. Getting your design right is really important because it allows everybody to act well their parts by understanding the future state vision, the future state blueprint, if you will, for what we're pursuing moving forward.
How does the workforce factor into that? I know we've talked a lot about workforce with everybody I've talked to here. It's a major people, retaining, recruiting. How does that factor into these design-based conversations?
So people are at the heart of everything that we do. So when I talk about design, it's really using those human-centered design elements. So we can talk about requirements or we can talk about technology independently, but at the end of the day, those things don't work unless you have trained, qualified, experienced operators who are putting their hands to those technologies.
Well, to that end, let's talk about the other side of that, which is it's 2024. You can't have a conversation without talking about AI. So how is that influencing your approach in your job with your team and in information warfare more broadly?
So we like to frame our AI discussions around the concept of design. A colleague of mine once said that AI is great for tasks or situations that are dull, dumb, or dangerous. So we, instead of focusing on the technology right up front, we focus on how do we want this to work within our ecosystem? What's the job that we want this AI technology to do for our sailor or our civilian? That gives some great context to how we want this technology to work in our giant ecosystem. Because at the end of the day, AI is a set of software. It's very sophisticated software, but it has to interact with your human. We like to think of it as we can use AI as a peer. Doing something that you would normally do as a human. So offloading a particular job to an AI tool. Or as an assistant, doing one of those really dull things like large numbers crunching and serving up insights to, say, an analyst. And the last leg of how we kind of formulate our AI discussions is around that of a manager. What do we want to offload? Just give to an AI tool that could potentially do something better than a human. So that's how we sort of frame our AI discussions.
What kind of things better than a human? I mean, I know large data sets I know is a big part of that, and tagging data sets, but what other kind of examples, I guess?
Again, when you're trying to comb through large amounts of data, and so there's only so much that a human brain can sort through. So when you talk about an AI tool, like going through large amounts of cybersecurity data, that's where AI can really be powerful. Also, the discipline of AI and robotics. Where can we keep a human or sailor or civilian in a safer posture and then offload something to an autonomous system? And then, again, it's not a either or, it's how can these technologies work together with our sailors and civilians?
Data, we talk about data. Again, another thing that you're hearing a lot here. What are the sort of challenges of securing that data? There's obviously a lot that's going through that you have to manage.
Yes, there is. And we approach everything that we do from an ecosystem. And I like to, you think about biology, walking through a beautiful forest. Things are existing together and working together in harmony. That's the same type of approach that we have to our information technology ecosystem. Data is one part of that. So knowing that our data is secure, and I just don't mean from a cybersecurity standpoint, but that it's trustworthy. That when a user is interacting with a particular insight, where is that authoritative reference? If you're interacting with data about a person, say from an identity aspect, how do you know that the actual human is who they say they are? So this is a multi-layered approach that allows our ecosystem to really flourish and work together.
Well, to that end, the larger ecosystem, we talk a lot about the tactical edge. How is that factoring into your work in information warfare? Like, is that a concern? I know it's something that it needs to be as close to zero as an error rate as possible. How is that gap being bridged?
Right. So again, it goes with this layered approach to our fundamental design. As a platform-centric Navy, we have to be able to operate all over the globe. So those are in connected and disconnected states. So a lot of times when we talk about things like cloud, we're looking at it through a lens of both a connected and a disconnected state. So being able to apply those layers when you're ashore in a similar manner to what you do when you are deployed, and potentially cut off from, I'll say, back-end compute areas.
Partnerships are key to all of this for sure. So can you talk a little bit about that? What do the partnerships mean to doing that work, the making sure that things are at the tactical edge the same as that they are, away from it and in all environments?
Right. Well, it's 2024. Friends don't let friends to tackle problems alone. So when we talk about allies and partners, we tend to think of some of our international state level agreements. And while that's one factor, equally important are our intra-government and relationship between government and industry. There are many things that the government is good at. There are many things that industry is good at. And we want to create a space where we can all come together to tackle these hard challenges.
What kind of hard challenges do you find common pain points between the different services and different offices, even throughout the Navy?
Absolutely. So when we talk about, we use a lot of principles. We call it our get real, get better efforts. So this is something that the CNO talked about in her keynote. And that's really a mindset to how we tackle these hard problems. First, by number one, defining what's the problem statement, and then analyzing the data that supports that problem statement or maybe causes us to change it. Then we can align to a North Star. And again, that process flow that goes from problem to North Star solution is really a rallying function for all of us in whether it's the Navy or some of our other services.
Is there anything we talked about that we didn't hit that you wanted to talk about? Anything interesting, maybe that you've seen here at AFCEA West?
So this has been a phenomenal event. I think I've heard it was the biggest
yes.
yet.
Sure.
So there's been some fantastic speakers. It's just been a fantastic time to get together and really have some conversations that can shape where we're moving forward.
Yeah, I'm sure it's good. Again, lessons learned, all those kinds of things, information sharing, all the things that as humans we can do very well. Jennifer, thanks so much for being on with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
GovCast, along with HealthCast and Cybercast, is a production of GovCIO Media and Research. To explore our content, visit our website, govciomedia.com. Keep an eye out for new episodes every Tuesday. And if you like what you heard, leave us a review on the podcast platform of your choice. Have a topic you want us to discuss? Contact us at newsletter@govcio.com.